So, Baishra, you come to 1 hit point, just absolutely feeling like crap, lying in the middle of a forest.
Alright. Guess I'll stand up. I assume I'm in my lizard folk form.
You are.
I'll look around to see if I can get my bearings.
You can kind of see that there's more light coming through to one side, like the edge of a forest, like the edge of the forest, which is vaguely where you would have come down. But that's really the only thing you're able to make out. All the other directions are just trees. And
What I will do is I will cast... Do I feel like injured? Like severely injured?
severely, yes.
Alright. I'll just give myself a healing word. Use up one of those spell slots. Knowing that pretty much everyone in my party has magical items and stuff, I'll cast Detect Magic and see if I can find them.
You do not sense anything,
Yeah,
except for your own magic within 30 feet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around and try to find them.
You kind of wander sideways, so you're following the edge of this forest. You don't run into anybody. How long do you want to spend doing this, I guess, would be the question.
Until I find something.
Oh, okay.
So I guess indefinitely.
Well,
Or
before
probably
that time,
a day.
you're following around the edge of this forest. Rika, as well, comes to in the forest again, in the same clearing she was in before. There's nobody with you. She is also severely injured. And you just feel like kind of jet lagged.
Yeah, I roll over and throw up. Taste
Okay.
sticky buns.
You are aware of some of the things you went through last night, but you feel like there's a lot you're forgetting as well, but you feel terrible.
I get up on like all fours, I guess, my knees, and just kind of sit there for a minute and slowly pull myself up. Is it daytime?
It appears to be evening. You as well went down in an area where you can see light coming in from the edge of the forest, and then in the other directions, much more darkness.
Let's see. What would Rika do with 1 hit point?
There's a squirrel
Evening,
giving
and
you a mean eye.
Is it dry or is it wet?
It is wet. Not like rainy, but are you asking? You're asking whether the soil is wet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Rika will start using prestidigitation to like dry some firewood and try to start a fire.
Let's go
She like finds twigs and like runs her hand over it. It's almost like wringing out a rag, like driplets of water pour off the bottoms of the twigs. And she just forces the water out of them.
I don't know how much experience you have in making fires in the middle of the woods.
Oh, she doesn't have hardly any experience at this. But she knows she needs
But she
dry
does have
wood,
magic.
and she has magic to start fire. Yeah. So it's really just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Having the fuel.
You get a little something started. It takes you like half an hour, 45 minutes, but you get it started.
Yeah, she has firebolt and control flames as cantrips.
Okay, let's switch over to esoteric. Same thing. You come up with 1 hit point. You feel terrible. You can kind of see the edge of the woods a little bit less than they could, but
Okay.
you can see which direction that is.
Well, I
So
would.
you feel terrible, but you also
yes.
have your full mental capabilities.
And as a way to clear my mind, I would cast Cure Wounds on myself.
You feel the burning go through. before it singes off and smokes and leaves your skin.
And so I don't see any of my compatriots near me, correct?
No. The only real direction you have right now is the edge of the forest. I guess you might be able to figure out north, south, east, west.
Well, so we were contacted by Waterdeep. Was I able? Or what? Was I contacted mentally, or who was?
No, it was Rika, and I believe Rika told you.
I was going to ask if. Basically, I was going to ask if we all.
He would totally have told you.
Okay, so
You wouldn't know what to do with that information.
could you repeat what it was again?
He asked to know where you guys were at.
Okay. Well, thing I was thinking about doing, not really worth doing at this moment. Yeah, I guess I'll start heading north. Try to get to the north edge of the forest.
You are most near the southern edge of the forest. Okay, so you're going to head out onto kind of this. As you get closer, you see it's a grass plain, a long plain before it hits mountains far off.
Well, then, yeah, I would, on the edge, I would start heading west then.
Do you know where you are?
Well, I assume, because I know where we entered the Underdark was, wait, actually, maybe I could look at the map myself this week.
I'm trying to think if you would know because I know Rika went up and took a look around. She saw some major landmarks around this area. If she would have told you about those.
Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly where we exited the Underdark, but I know Waterdeep would be to the west. I don't know how close to the west, but it would be to the west. That's why I'm heading west.
You see, there's actually just to the southwest of you, there's kind of a uprising of rock. It's not fully mountainous. You see a river way off in the distance. Most of this out here is straight plains. So you can see for long distances, and you don't see anything.
I would cast Thaumaturgy, which I can use it to have my voice boom up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute, and I would just call out Aishra, Talia, Rika.
Okay, so you all hear this. You hear it from off in the distance. Talia, you have just come to consciousness when you start hearing somebody yelling names to all of you off towards the edge of this forest.
Can I ascertain a direction from which the voice is emanating?
Yeah, I mean, after a couple minutes of walking around, you can figure it out. There's a lot of echoes in the trees, but you're able to triangulate it, yeah.
Okay, is it... Which of the cardinal directions is it, or...
Oh, it's south of you. South
of me. When I first come to, I'm not going to immediately hop up because I'm going to be...
you're at 1 hit point as well, yes.
Yeah, I assumed. And so, A, I'm not feeling well, and B, I'm kind of have it ingrained in me to always let my awareness fully come to and take stock of the situation before I act, just so that I'm not doing so rashly. So I'll probably lay there until my mental faculties come in and try to detect if someone is near me or watching me, or just before I actually get up.
There is a rabbit watching you. A little red-eyed rabbit.
Okay, at that, I will kind of very slowly, so as not to startle it, raise my fingers in a seal pattern and activate Speak with Animals. Who are you, little friend?
Runs off into the woods.
Oh, you motherfucker. I just don't have red eyes. It was not normal. Wait! Come back! Anyway, so she'll curse slightly under herself, and then realizing that based on that, the there was nobody else watching go, else the rabbit would have taken off sooner. So she assumes that she's
Oh,
safe.
and you think you hear him say, I'm late for a very important date. As he
Oh,
arrives. I'm sorry, I had to get that in there.
You killing Alice in Wonderland on me. I'm gonna have to chase that damn rabbit down. That's just gonna drive her nuts. But no, she will use that. It's not gonna be completely wasted. She's gonna use it to ascertain the fact that she is in fact safe-ish, like at least from other predators or individuals, because otherwise it would have left before then. So
Yeah, it seems so. It's very quiet.
So she will slowly
Except
rise.
for that jerk shouting in the distance.
Well, yeah. Slowly rise to kind of a cross-legged meditative position, so she can ascertain how functional her body is, because she's still really weak and groggy. And
Nothing's broken, but many lacerations. There's blood where you were laying on the ground. Got a huge pool of it. You are not doing well, mentally or physically.
I will first then meditate and channel my internal energies to cast Cure Wounds on myself twice. Because I have the really shitty version, because I am.
What does it look like when you cast Cure Wounds?
It's more of just an internal channeling of the energy around myself. I kind of glow with an aura of whitish blue energy, just like it's like my chi is cocooning me.
Cool.
Like I guess you might think of some of the Mistwalker animations.
Right. It's got that like sparkly glow to it.
Yeah, it's not green, but it's just kind of like a very thin film surrounding me and kind of infusing me with whitish blue internal energies that are externalizing to mend from the inside out.
Yeah, you feel better. You can still hear some asshole yelling off in the distance. And so can everybody else. I don't know what you guys are doing with that information.
Go the other direction now, and then head towards it.
Rika has a fire going at this point.
Is there smoke from the fire enough to waft over the trees?
Yeah, Rika's intentionally making the fire as smoky as she can.
Yeah, you guys could actually smell the fire. You guys are downwind.
Okay. What direction is that from me?
That's the other direction of the voice.
Oh, lovely.
But does Rika do anything when she hears esoteric yelling? Baishra headed that direction.
Well, so do I see the smoke?
Yeah, you would probably start seeing little wafts of it. You can smell it, definitely.
Well, I would wait at my current location for a while.
Yeah, you wait, and Baishra comes out of the forest, looking just about as beat up as you feel.
I nod at him.
Biter nods back.
How are you feeling?
He says the draconic word for like shit.
Talia will move towards the smoke. I'm going to use a normal move and then dash with my action and shadow step the 60 feet with my bonus action to move as fast as possible in that direction as quietly as I'm able using those methodologies.
It's only going to take you at, what is that, like 90 feet around?
My speed is 50, so it would be 160.
Anyway. Yeah, it takes you like 3 turns to get to the fire. It takes you no time. And you just show up and Rika's there tending. Okay, Talia, you find Rika.
Okay, I will kind of let out a breath that I didn't realize I was holding it in relief at discovering her relatively well, although looking quite disheveled, and I will jump down near to her and use my last spell slot to do Cure Wounds into her.
Rika jumps when you suddenly appear behind her and touch her on the shoulder. Oh my gosh. Then she turns around and like hugs you.
I hug back tightly and sniffle a bit. But she was not crying as she wipes the water off her face.
She hugs you for way too long. And way too hard. And then she is invigorated by your magic and feels wonderful. I made a fire.
I will take full advantage of the lovely fire that Rika made and warm myself on it.
Rika waves her hand over the fire and doubles the area of bright light and dim light cast by the flame.
Yeah, the night is freezing. It is nice to definitely be around the flame, Talia. But for you out on the plains, not even having the wind break of the trees, it is extremely cold. What are you doing, Esoteric? And
Oh,
Baisha?
well, after Baisha came up, I think we would have waited a little bit more. And then Esoteric would say, perhaps we should investigate that smoke.
Rika says, "Who was screaming? Is that esoteric?"
Talia will say, it seemed to be. I think I recognize his voice. He was, and I'll point, like saying, about the same distance away on the other side of me, that direction. So I'm sure they saw your smoke like I did. They shouldn't be too long, I'd imagine. Or
Yep, and it's just another couple minutes before they come breaking twigs through the trees. Come into the little clearing you have in between some old oaks. Like bulbous type oaks.
I will take a few moments, or 10 minutes, I guess, more specifically, and cast Alarm as a ritual to set up a perimeter of warding magic through the trees.
Hi guys.
Is everyone holding up okay?
I think we're pretty beat up. Don't step over there. She points to the pile of vomit. I got sick.
Talia will turn to Biker and Esoteric and say, either of you know what that was that threw us out of the sky? Didn't seem natural.
I assume the answer is no, right?
Oh yeah, you have no
Yeah.
clue.
No, I do not know what that was.
And you said we don't remember Rika does not remember her dreams?
She does remember that dream specifically, but you feel like there was more that happened there that you don't remember. Sort of like real dreams.
See, if I was smart, I would remember to use slow fall. I forgot it was a thing monks have.
Okay, my ring of feather falling didn't help either. Well, should we just make camp here?
Unless we have another way back to civilization easily, I'd recommend it. We're none of us in great shape for an arduous journey.
Well, out of the woods comes Brisea Obersker, looking as lacerated and injured as you guys. She just sits down next to the fire and puts her hands up to it and doesn't talk to anybody.
Yeah, I guess then I'll look to the party. and say where to.
Well, we have two immediate goals. Persea is the princess, right?
Kind of. Yeah, niece of
Yeah.
king.
The person we were calling a princess because of her attitude, but yeah. So we need to get her back to where she belongs, and then we need to get back on our mission, or more properly, get in touch with Dago Neverember, because he was potentially, he's trying to get a hold of us, had new information. Maybe our mission has changed. So those are kind of the two vectors we're dealing with.
Well, are our destinations, those two of them, places that we've been before?
One of them, if potentially, would be
Waterdeep.
if we were going back there, yeah, like it, but I don't know because we haven't talked to him. So we may get back there and find he needed us to go somewhere else entirely. So there could be a zombie apocalypse or dragons took over Waterdeep, but we don't have a clue. So we could be just walking into whatever.
Esoteric has seen enough now to figure out where you guys are. Rika told him about the ice spires. He came out and saw the mountains around, kind of the way the river flows through. You guys are up in the Silver Marches, up in the north center of a Sword Coast map. You guys have just come out of the south edge of the east side of the Silver Marches.
What
The Coldwood, Druerwood, Moonwood. You guys are southeast of the Druerwood.
is that the Moonwood?
Okay, I see. We're southeast of Druerwood, but not quite in the Coldwood yet. We're right on the edge.
Right. Coldwood is basically where you were when you came up out of the ground.
Okay. Well, we're not that far from Silvery Moon.
Well, that's where she's from, right?
She's from
wanted to
Cormier.
go- Yeah, she's from way down there.
Yeah, Menza Baranzan is in that area. That makes sense.
Yeah, like we need to bring her to Suzale, which is way down there.
Oh, it was Suzanne. I couldn't remember where she was from.
Oh, it's from Cormier. We all know. She didn't really tell us exactly where.
I was taken from the family estate on the south hill of the Stormhorns, a few miles south.
Could she just teleportation circle from Waterdeep then?
Yeah, that would be viable.
Our best bet's to get a Silvery Moon.
Where's that? Where
It's directly.
I don't
south
have a
of
map
us.
in front of me as well, so
Basically, directly south of us.
have
It's
we
the
been there before?
closest. It's the closest city by far.
Have we been there before?
No.
My thing is very contingent on us being there before.
How?
Because I have transport via plants now.
How many miles can you go?
In same plane of existence.
Oh, well, fuck. We'll just go to Waterdeep.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's why I was asking. Yeah. So we
Yeah,
can just
we were talking in terms of having to travel ourselves.
Yeah, we're gonna travel ourselves. We're gonna be there in 10 minutes.
Do you need to rest before we can do that, though? When did you?
Yeah, but yeah, rest. That way we can get the spell slot and do it.
Because we're all fucked up anyway. So yeah, camp here for the night and then do that. That makes plenty good sense.
Rika starts setting up her tent.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember if anyone in this party had like a dome spell or anything.
Tiny hut.
No. I most certainly do not.
You'd think a druid would have something for living outside in the wilderness.
No, I mean they're cool about it. They just.
I was going to say, wilderness is a problem for them. That's home. That's like living in high cotton.
Well, they might want to help other people live there.
Yeah, I mean I have Druid's Grove.
I don't have the mistletoe though.
Yeah, the mistletoe harvested by a golden scythe under the light of a full moon. When's the next full moon?
The next full moon is in about 6 days.
All right, cool. In a week, I'll ask you again. Harvesting mistletoe with a sickle is gonna be hard.
How's that gonna be hard?
You gonna climb the tree and shit?
Like that's hard for you. Turn into anything that can climb a tree and get up there.
For a normal person.
You're not a normal person. Normal person isn't casting a 6th level spell.
Right.
Fair enough.
Whatever level.
Fair enough.
Like if you're casting 6 levels, well, you fly up the tree and then you can get it all the mistletoe you need. You could probably grow the shit with your other druid spells.
Alright, so we rest.
You guys don't have any problem over the course of the night. You guys all come up feeling significantly better. The weather hasn't changed since yesterday. It's still cold, windy, barely a cloud in the sky.
Rika wakes up early and goes outside and just basks in the sun. She's prestidigitating her clothes clean.
Alright, double checking my spells, see if I want to shift anything around as far as what I know for the day.
Rika starts making a cup of tea. It boils water and makes green tea. And she brings Talia some.
Talia cups both sides of it with each hand to warm up a bit and takes a long drag and thanks her. And once sufficiently woken up by it, she will practice her katas to center herself and limber up and all that good jazz. Get ready for the day.
And Rika starts taking down the tent while she does that.
I'm chewing on some fingers in quiet contemplation.
Yeah, Briseia's doing similar except for the fingers thing. She's just sitting by
Rika
the
brings
fire.
Briseia some tea.
She doesn't say anything, but she accepts it.
They're probably drow fingers now, because I got a bunch of those, I assume.
I think you probably could have grabbed as many as you like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of battle, chopping off drow hands so you can eat them later.
Not in the middle of battle, but at the very end of it.
In the lulls.
We just pick up one hand, just a quick little.
As I look
Oh,
over
right there.
look over Bicep Crutch and I'm like, I don't understand it. With how many fingers you collected, we should be way more powerful.
One of the hands accidentally gives you the finger. Just as he's chewing on it, yeah, just the one finger gets stuck up.
I guess once I'm done, Vaishra will stand up and look over at everyone. We go.
Hey. But let's be ready for anything. Just because it's a place we're familiar with doesn't mean it's going to be the normal welcome reception we might expect. All that's going on, who knows what could have changed.
My plan is to go. When we went to the meeting in the Waterdeep Council, where I had to leave my staff outside, I put the tree into the ground next to other trees. So my plan is to go to one of those trees, because those ones I know I'm familiar with.
Talia knows no different, so she's going along with it, other than the paranoia that she voiced just before. That won't have changed, but would have been true regardless of that, because she's just cautious that way.
Yeah. So I'll stab my staff into the ground. The little tremor thing quakes out and goes to the tree. The tree splits up and opens up into a green, bright light.
I will go through second to last.
Vaishra will go through first.
Each of you take damage as you are funneled through and then pushed out towards the edge of the castle district. You are not at the tree you meant to go to. You are at a nearby location, though. You are just at the edge of the castle district. And you all just felt like you were being compressed. It was a mildly similar experience to what happened in the forest. Whether it's a planar thing or just specific to this location, you're not sure. But you guys emerge in Waterdeep, inside one of the nicer areas of town. It's a little bit calmed down, but you can hear the sounds of mourning off in the distance.
Talia is kind of like got her arm around her stomach, and as if she's got cramps or something, and it's like, God, Beischer, is that supposed to happen?
Beischer just says no.
This is not the castle district or ward or whatever that place is. She tries to kind of shake the discomfort off. At least we're in one piece, I think. She's investigating herself.
You guys see some guards talking off in the distance and pointing in your direction. There's 4 of them. You guys are on about the layer below where the council meeting was held last time. So you're, within a few minutes of there, if you're trying to get back to that exact location.
Yeah, so let's not waste any time then. Let's go find this Lord Daggle so we can figure out what he needed. And get this lady to a teleportation circle so we can be done with that business.
She says, why didn't we just do this before?
Yeah, why didn't we do this before?
Beischer just says no trees.
Yeah, but so you notice a lot of trees in the Underdark?
She pretends you didn't say anything.
So Talia, knowing the streets of Waterdeep fairly well, will lead us where we need to go.
To get up onto the next layer, there is a check of guards. There's 6 of them at this gate. One of them's holding his weapon out as you approach, and he says, "What business have you here?"
We are on official business.
Yeah, I'm
of
trying
the
to
Lord's
think.
Alliance.
Oh, is it the Lord's Council? Is that the name of it?
You are working for the Lord's Alliance. That does not entitle you access to this area.
Well, it was a mistake that we're in this particular area of the city. We did not intend to arrive here.
Oh, okay. He sends one of his guys running back up to the place. Once he finds out if you are allowed to come up here, I think they will probably notice a description of you.
Talia will speak up at that point and say, yes, we're unfortunately conspicuous. As a group, anyway.
I guess. I don't know. I kind of fit in.
Rika? One of the guards says.
Oh no. Is this Bobby Jam?
Yeah, I'm Rika. Who said that?
He takes off his helmet. It's Robert. And it is. It's
Robert.
Bobby Jam. Same guy you remember.
Oh, I run over and I give him
What
a
are
big
you
hug
doing
and a kiss on the
here?
cheek.
Yeah, he
I
hugs you
squeal.
back. He looks like pink in the face now, but
Talia face palms at being right at her outlandish guess and is just like, oh dear God.
We just got back from an adventure.
oh, what do you mean an adventure?
Or I guess a mission, a quest for the Lord's Alliance, for the Lord Neverember,
He
and some other
just
people.
looks kind of confused.
How's
Oh,
the
well,
Order of the
that's
Gauntlet treating you?
Good. He's up at the council right now. Why are you trying to get in there to see the council?
we received a magical summons that we should come back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh,
Is everything okay?
He looks to his guard friend and he says, "I know her at least. I think I can probably escort them in if that's all right." And the other guard just kind of waves you on.
Yeah, I was with these guys back at the Roadhouse. You remember? This is, I dragged Talia over. This is my best friend Talia. You remember her?
Right.
She was the one who was scowling at us the whole time.
I remember.
Yes, I'm displaying, and I will give him a charmed, I'm sure, flat tone.
And the devil and the lizard. Yeah, yes, yeah. You did keep odd company. What are you going out and like? I don't know, getting information. What do you do?
Just whatever kings and queens ask us to do, I guess. It's just kind of what we do now. She winks. We're very important people, you know.
Well, I knew that. I guess I could tell, but I had no idea that you were dealing with the council. Maybe we could do something while you're in the city.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
He gets your information. I don't know. Do you give him like a street? How do people exchange information in this time period?
My Insta.
We'd have to set a physical meeting location.
Yeah, where are you staying while you're living here? You're the person who lives here, right?
Well, I'm in and out as well. I mostly,
Where are you staying?
I'm in the South Ward right now. Nothing too fancy. Just a little
Well,
spot.
it doesn't have to be fancy.
He again blushes and laughs. And the other guy, the guy who had first been sent away, comes out of the council chamber and sees you guys and says, "Yeah, they're allowed to come in." Neverember says we can let them in. They do need to leave their weapons out front, though. There's like 5 or 6 guards standing out front and just waiting for your weapons. So I'll see you soon, I guess. Yeah, he gives you the information of where he's staying at.
Okay. I pull out one of my books I've been reading and just kind of write in the cover.
It was good seeing you.
Yeah, I'll stop by as soon as I get a chance. I mean, we do stay pretty busy. But I'll definitely stop by. And she kisses him on the cheek again.
He puts up back on his helmet. Marches off stiffly. Do you guys hand over your weapons first? Same guys as the last time, and there's a lion at the door.
I guess so.
Plant my tree on the ground again.
You put it through the same hole in the ceiling
that
you did
hole
last
that
time.
just fucking left. Yeah.
They're like, God damn it. Talia, does anybody try to hide any weapons?
Oh, she totally does.
Like, if Rika thought she could get away with it, she totally would try, but...
Yeah, for the second time, you sneak a blade in your shoe. They check inside your shoe, and then right afterwards you slip it in there, so they don't think to check again. But yeah, you're the only one that's able to get anything in there. You open it up. There is a map of the Sword Coast out on a table. It is a little bit like geographic in that it rises and falls with the mountains. It's not. It doesn't look like it's to scale, but it's more or less a map of the Sword Coast, as if you were looking at it from above. There are pieces on this map, a number of what look like dragon-like creatures, some other things representing like camps and stuff.
I got my Game of Thrones theme playing.
Lord Daggold Neverember holds his arms wide. It's only him in the room right now. As far as seated around the tables, there's tons of like scribes and things walking around the edge of the room. He says, "Welcome. I had no idea you were so close."
Well, close isn't the right word, but capable of getting here quickly, yes.
Yeah, a tree gave birth to us, I think.
He just looks at you. Well, that's good to hear. Are you ready for another task? Well, what exactly did you accomplish, and who is this woman with you?
Very long story, and as far as what we accomplished, not much in the way of our original mission, but not entirely.
We killed 100 drow in Menzo Baranzan.
Well, that too. I was more focused on the dragon, since that's what he's most concerned with. But
We walked into Menzo Baranzan and killed 100 drow warriors and wizards.
That's
and
incredible.
We saved this noblewoman who had been kidnapped by the drow. And then I kind of like push her forward.
Yeah, she says, Brisea Oberskier, last daughter of the second house of Cormyr. He says, "Oh, I had no idea you were even missing. Are you feeling all right?" She's been very down since she got out of the wood, and she still isn't speaking up as clear as she was before. She seems a little more broken. But she assures him she's doing okay, and he gives her rooms. He says, "We will get her home." Does anybody have anything to say to her before she leaves?
Rika gives her a big hug. And she says, "I'll miss being your horse."
Laughs a little bit. She says, "I never properly thanked you all, so..." And she leaves off to the apartment that he's going to set up for her. He says, "We didn't know of your arrival today. Maybe I can call a meeting for later this afternoon?"
That's entirely up to you. It's not as if we the intention of addressing the whole Grand Council. It was more a matter of responding to your sending.
There are things to be done all over the Sword Coast. Again, going to look for Macath up in the Sea of Moving Ice. I know Romalia has been pushing for that. I don't know if she's been in contact with you or with you all.
You've not been in contact with anyone since we left you. It's been quite the few weeks.
Well, you were out of contact for a number of weeks. I don't know exactly. You must have been in the Underdark. I didn't realize that could interfere with that spell, but it must have, because we've been trying to contact you for a number of weeks. But it is good to hear that, at the very least, the drow have been taken out of the equation. One less thing we need on the board.
Yeah.
We ended up diverted from our original mission. We found the trail of where we thought the army of the White Dragon was heading to obtain the mask, but we must have lost them or gotten sidetracked or something, which set us down the other path. But so that still needs dealt with as well.
Okay, well, that is good to know. He has his scribe taken out. We'll send somebody out there. There are a number of magic items that we have located. There are a number of dragons that we have not pinpointed, but we are getting vague positions of. It's more a matter of which jobs do you think you are best for? I would send you in straight again. I would send you straight to the Misty Forest if it were my say. There's a green dragon there, and we can't move any troops along the coast down to where we need to be. We have found the location that they are calling the Well of Dragons. It is directly east of the Forest of Worms, near the Battle of Bones. It appears that they have entrenched themselves, both dragon and dragon army. The dragons on the high moor and the dragons of the Misty Forest. We cannot move any troops in that direction, and we are going to need troops.
So basically, we need to take out the two obstacles to your movements so that once done, we can target other things while you're getting your armies in position in that direction.
That would be my say, if it were only me.
Aren't there good dragons that could help us?
We got a note from the good dragons, a scroll telling us that they were having a council of their own in the Nether Mountains. It starts in 5 days, though. I think it was more of a pro forma. They're required to let us know that they're meeting, but they didn't actually give anyone enough time to get there. So,
well, we can get there. That's easy enough.
You want to go and try and convince the gold dragons to work with us?
Ooh, yeah.
Why not? I mean, there's plenty of time to deal with at least one of the two dragon obstacles in your way and then be up there in 5 days. That's just south of where we just came from.
Well, that would be perfect. If that is the job you guys want. I was tending to think you guys were more fighters. But if you can bring them into the fold, it will take, I'm sure, concessions by the council, but we have discussed it to some length, and we are ready to give into some things. If we can get the metallic dragons working with us, that would be incredible. That would solve a lot of problems.
I'll be the first to admit I'm no diplomat, and she'll kind of cock her hips with her hands on them. So you definitely pegged me right as the fighting type, but it seems like a venture worth at least attempting if it's accessible to us. It'd be foolish not to try, considering the potential good it could cause.
Is there a diplomat we should take with us?
Talia looks at you impressively.
If you will give me a day, I will send... Well, I don't know how you are getting there. They won't have a way to get there themselves. If you can get them there, I would like to send some people that can cast message spells with you.
I will point at Vaishra and say, well, Vaishra would be our ride back that direction. I don't know how his spell works, but he should be able to get back to the tree we just came from, and it's just south of there, probably a day's ride.
He looks to Vaishra and says, can you take 2 extra people with you?
Yes.
He nods. He says, I will have them... Well, where are you staying?
No idea. I didn't know if we were staying at all. If there's a dragon that we need to take care of in the meantime before 5 days from now, then we may be staying on the road.
I don't know if there's enough time to get there and back by then. Again, let me consult with the rest of the council tonight and see if there's anything we can come up with for the meantime. Apart from that, you can meet your 2 accompanying clerics here. I'll put them at the gate so you don't have to come all the way through. I will position them there tomorrow morning, and you can pick them up whenever you need to.
You can find us at the Tumbling Barmaid. I tell the Lord that.
He chuckles and he says, I will send them there in the morning then. If there's anything else you require, feel free to either message me or send messages through them. These are 2 men that are very skilled in this one area of magic. They can send great number of messages over the course of a day, so please try to keep us informed as to the situation once you get there. If there's anything else, he says.
I look at Esoteric.
No.
All right. Well, thank you for your hasty arrival. It is appreciated.
I bow deeply. And leave and get my sword.
Come back out. Baishra says his command word.
Grab my tree back.
Goes plotting off. Making a big old funk sound with every drop of the staff in this wide, empty, what is that, brick lane area. You guys get a lot of odd looks. You guys are a weird party, especially to be walking through one of the upper crust areas of the city. You guys are a weird party in the lower crust areas of the city, but here you especially stand out.
Yeah. Rika says, I'm going to go buy some new clothes, I think. You want to go with me, Talia?
That seems like such a waste. These are perfectly good clothes for combat. What?
My clothes are in tatters.
Fine.
She's literally wearing holy rags. She's rough on clothing.
You know, I hate this. I've never been good at this. This is what your sister's for. But since we're even in town, I will go with you.
Well,
this is like first thing in the morning.
Figured Talia probably knows where to go for that.
Talia knows where to go for clothes?
He's an expert in urban something or others, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's what, the city secrets thing. I know the way around the city to stuff.
Yeah, she can get you in the area. She knows basically all the shops in town, and she can get you to kind of the central area for clothing. What are you looking for? You looking for more of the same? Just fresher or something new?
Yeah, just more of the same. Just her traditional kind of
flowing,
Oriental Chinese kind of dress.
What's that called? Drape?
Oh, that's right. I have a bag of holding XXL. I could buy the whole store. Or I could hold the whole store.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I've got plenty of money.
Looking for like maybe
three sets,
6 gold. Yeah, all feels very fresh. Feels good to walk outside and not have, clothes ripped and torn, thread tickling you all over.
And I'm gonna buy Talia something.
What do Baishra and Esoteric do during this time? Unless you go with her.
No, definitely not. I would probably spend time walking around the city for a bit. Perhaps, give a couple coins to beggars. I don't know if there's some kind of library system. Definitely check out the library.
There's a great library.
There's a public one that exists. Yeah, okay, let's go there then.
It is back in the castle district, but it's on the first layer there, and you don't have any trouble getting in. That's where you guys split up, so you probably just go straight off to the library. Baishra, do you follow him, or what are you doing?
Baishra was going to ask Esoteric to help him find something.
Okay, well then, that would... I don't have anything specific to do, so that would trump whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah, you just watch the girls take off.
All right. But I was just gonna, speaking of Draconic to Esoteric, I need a golden sickle and a gem-encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold.
What was the second one?
A gem-encrusted bowl worth at least 1,000 gold. How do I get those? You know more about this than I do.
Yeah, the gem encrusted bowl you probably get like some kind of jeweler or similar thing, but I don't know about the golden sickle. I guess special order or the blacksmith probably. I would help him in that endeavor, whatever is involved.
Sure. There's nothing special about the golden sickle. Doesn't need to be magic or anything like that.
Wouldn't it be like some sort of like shamanistic version of those things?
Hmm?
Oh, you're saying flavor for it?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't it be kind of like lizard folk flavored? Like, what would the equivalent be for a lizard folk tribe?
What do they use? They probably have something. Well, it'd be like a long pole. It'd be kind of a sickle type thing where they
Like
knock,
ivory inlaid with gold.
Like the sickle kind of makes sense. What would they use?
trees.
What would they use for the bowl?
Gem encrusted bowl.
Nah, I don't know, but it's gotta be worth at least 1,000 gold.
Right.
Like pearls or something, and
Yeah, it would just be different jewels, I guess, would be what it would
It could
be.
be like intricate painting and
Ooh, oh yeah, or like instead of having it be jewel inlaid, it's carved, intricately carved. I like
carved jade.
Well, as long as we get one for now.
You can find these things. The golden sickle is going to take. If you pay him 20 gold, he will get it done by tomorrow.
All right, it's easy.
But that includes the actual gold for making the sickle. So he says he will have it done by noon tomorrow.
I will hand him the bag to him to take out the 20 gold that he needs. How much does he take out of my bag?
Oh, he grabbed one extra gold. That's it.
All right.
And he thanks you. And yeah, noon tomorrow. I'll have it done.
Vaishra, perhaps you should learn to work
Help.
with financing.
He took what he needed.
I do not believe he was completely honest about it. If you give people an opening, most of them will take it.
I just like shrugs. He doesn't understand the whole trading for money shit. I mean, he's getting the hang of it though. He's presenting them with the gold they asked for now.
If you search around, can you make an investigation check for the bowl? I just want to see what price it's going to be. You will be able to find one, but at what price?
16 somehow.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, you could find it for 1,000 gold.
All right, I stick the bag on the table.
Vaishra, allow me, please.
All right.
And I
Vaishra hands you the bag.
Yeah, it's a woman, and she like reaches out like she's unsure. She's like, "Really? You're just handing me all your money?" And
Yeah,
Esoteric swoops in.
I will separate 1,000 gold pieces, or I don't know. We have platinum. I don't remember our actual distribution of money.
7,224 gold and 5 EP, whatever that is.
That's electrum. It's worth less than gold.
Yeah.
Why would you have? No, you shouldn't have Electrum. I've never given out Electrum in my.
I got 5. I don't know where it came from.
Maybe it's supposed to be 5 silver. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I would Except for, count up to 1,000.
She has 2. The other one is 1,200. But if you just need 1 for now, you can take that one.
Yeah, I'll buy 2. Why not?
Okay, so 2,200 total. You guys are there counting for like half an hour. It takes a long time to count out that much gold.
Lengthy process.
Alright, guys, I can now cast Hero's Feast twice.
Only twice?
Yes, only twice. You guys can't wait to see what I should pick up.
Is this the one that makes you immune to frighten? Yeah, that's really good against the dragons.
But he can only do it twice, so we need to save it for important dragon fights, not just any old dragon fights. But yes, it's really good.
Well, Rika doesn't know you can do that, so...
Yet.
So yeah, you guys are all out shopping in mildly the same area of town.
While we're at the place where we got the bull, I would also buy another diamond worth 300 gold pieces. I already have 1, but it's another, so I can for Revivify.
You already have one?
Yeah, I made sure to. I have a diamond for both. I have 1 diamond for Revivify and 1 diamond for Raise Dead.
You could not find 1,000 gold one. You could find a 300 gold one.
It's 500 for Raise Dead. It's 300 for Revivify, 500 for Raise Dead.
Oh, which one's 1,000? I think.
It probably
Resurrection.
Maybe.
I need rare oils and onions, whatever that is.
It's like an alchemist thing, probably.
Is that on Heroes Feast?
Magic shop.
No, it's on Reincarnate.
There's no gold cost to it, right?
Worth at least 1,000 gold,
Oh.
which the spell consumes. So if we all die, we get to come back as normal stuff. If Esoteric dies, the world's his oyster.
Wait, why?
It's
Oh, I see.
Reincarnate.
I see. Because he gets to bring us back with Raise Dead, but we bring him back with Reincarnate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, so can I find one worth 500 or only 300?
Ooh, and it's random what you become?
Mm-hmm.
So can I find one worth 500 gold pieces or only 300?
Nope. You don't happen to find anything above 500 gold.
Well, yeah.
Well, there is
500
one.
is what I was looking for. I was 500 or 300 were the choices.
I said you could get one over 300. There's not another one over 500 except for until you get to a 1,200. So if you wanted the over 500, you would have to pay for
No, I
1,200.
just want 500.
Yeah, there's not. You can't find anything of that sort.
Okay.
What you should do is get the 1,200 and then have the gem maker cut it in half, and you have 2 that are worth 600.
Yeah.
That matters.
Well, theoretically, so for Revivify, it says diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. So theoretically, you could use, bits of diamond because. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like rings and stuff.
Okay. Well, I will buy a 300 gold piece diamond, so at least I have one of those. It's still useful.
Yep.
I bet you could get diamonds in hell. Pray for diamonds, Esoteric.
So that's where you guys are. You guys are in the trade district. You guys took off in the morning. This is still like middle of the day. Before middle of the day.
So I just wanted to be clear that Rika did buy Talia some new clothes, right? Talia, did you let that happen?
I don't know what kind of clothes were you trying to buy me, because
Well, Rika was, trying on a lot of stuff, so she would have made you try on some stuff.
I would have tried to dissuade you, but if it was going to be more trouble than it was worth and you were going to do it anyway, I probably would have just, for ease of the experience, would have just let you. Whether I end up wearing them or not will remain to be seen, but I'll let you buy them. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be the stuff that she was trying on. She would have wanted you to buy something that was comfortable to you to wear.
Yeah. No, I get that. I'll see.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want it to look like?
I will thank her. I have no idea. I didn't know I was going to be thinking about having purchased anything. So I will look.
She will insist on something like more formal for you to wear in case we are meeting kings and queens.
That's probably a good idea because I mostly have fighting attire. So
instead of red, it's black. So you guys have a very similar style for normal occasions.
If hers looks like this and mine is kind of a black mirror to it, that'd be interesting. I'd be down for that.
Well, Rika's would be like gold with like red accents and white, I guess.
Yep, it takes a while. These are fairly intricate things, and just a lot of the person coming over and draping you in another layer of clothing. But you eventually finish, and Rika seems satisfied.
I will genuinely thank her by the end, because at first I'm really frustrated with this whole deal, but then by the end it's I see what she's trying to do and all the effort she put in, so I will, provide some genuine gratitude and bow, give her a hug, and all that good stuff.
And I insist that you wear the fancy stuff out with me.
Now? Today? Oh, this is... Surely that's not necessary. Right now. We're just going about town.
We're going home.
What? No. That... You made no mention of that.
Yes, we have to go home now. It is time. We don't have to stay home, but we do have to visit.
Rubbing her bridge of her nose with her index finger and middle finger. I suppose you're right. At the very least, you owe Kieran that much. It's been a while since we were able to write, considering, so he's probably worried.
Yeah, I think Menzo Baranzan sort of snapped me out of it a little bit, and I think we need to reconnect a little. I kind of miss them.
I understand. I obviously do too. It's not that I don't want to see them. I was leaving for a reason. I don't know if I'm ready to face that. But who knows when we might at least get to see them again once we leave here. So, yeah, better to get it over with, I suppose. We don't want to have any regrets.
You guys head over in that direction?
Yes, we head towards the dojo.
It is extremely busy at midday on the main street, which is kind of nice because when you get into the back alleys, your butterflies are rumbling, filling the noise. You actually, as you're on the street back to your house, you see Nintai walking towards you. She's looking down and looks thoughtful. Nintai, the your slightly older sister, pulled back brown hair in a ponytail. She looks like she's about to pass you without even seeing you. And unless you do something, she does.
I will elbow Rika and point if she hasn't noticed it.
I will step in front of her path. Like in a kind of a martial arts style.
She just looks confused for a second, and she looks up from her own thoughts, and she goes, Rika! And she jumps on you and gives you a hug.
I envelop her in my largeness and robes.
Talia, and she comes over and gives you a hug. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, that is such a long tale, and not for the telling in the road here.
I have to be going to church, but will you be here when I get back?
Depends on how long you'll be.
Couple hours, maybe?
Yeah, probably we'll still be here by then.
Okay, I'll try to get out. I'll try to get out quick. She takes off, unless you guys hold her for any reason. I'll see you guys in a little bit. She runs off. And you guys continue towards the dojo.
About how long have we been gone?
You've probably been gone 6 months. Something like that. So you step into the dojo. You see Kenyaku, your oldest brother. Buzz cut. Brown skin. He is leading a class, but he takes a look over as you come in. He says, everyone take 5. And they all wander off. You don't see any of your other brothers and sisters taking the class today. Kenyaku comes over and gives you both hugs. It's been so long.
Yeah, it has. You look good.
Don't you guys ever think about, sending letters or anything like that?
Well, we did pretty regularly at first, but it's been kind of crazy the last month or two. We weren't really in a position to do that.
Oh, really? Well, at least you're home now. I think we still have your room open. You can actually take Reina's old room, Talia, if you want. But yeah, let's
turn my head to the side.
Let's go talk to Dad. And he starts leading you upstairs. Kieran is up there at the table, and he sees you both walk up the stairs into the room. He just walks over, and he's got a tear rolling down his face, and he just hugs you both.
See, now
he says, "Oh, I've missed you."
Guilty. Like tons of guilt, like crushing guilt right now. This is what I was feeling. But she squeezes him tightly.
Yeah, he just holds on to you guys for a little while.
Rika's just trying not to lose it.
Oh, we got your gifts. We did. We just... Oh, it was... Not knowing what happened to you.
Let's see. Pulls away slightly. I will give him a deep bow and try to say thank you, but my voice cracks halfway through trying to get it out. Or rather, not thank you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's looking a little lost for words as well. Haritsu actually walks in and grabs some food out of the kitchen. He goes, "Hey, Rika, hey, Talia." And he goes back into his room.
As if we saw him yesterday.
So everything's been okay here?
Yeah, of course. Everything's going as normal. Kenyaku excuses himself to go retake his class.
And how was the wedding?
Raina's wedding?
Oh, you guys don't know. She left. She left before you left.
What?
She hasn't come back. I mean, I'm sure she's okay. I'm not as worried about her as I was about you. She could
What do
take
you mean
care
you're
of
not
herself.
worried? She's been... Where is she?
Raina could take care of herself. I'm sure she's out working. She's doing something. She's taken off before. She always comes back. Don't worry, Talia. I know you were especially close to her, but she'll be around again.
She will... Actually, she's going to try to insight check him. She gives him a piercing stare. Not like glare, but just trying to see through him and really understand what he means. Because, like, some of this is new to her, like the whole disagreement before, because to her mind that's not happened, of course, but she's hundreds of years old and may well have, and she doesn't know if that's truthful or if he's just trying to placate her or trying to figure out what's
Sure, make an insight.
really going on here.
Yeah, I really wonder what that letter said now. Rika says aloud to no one in particular.
Well, at that mumbling, I will divert my stare from Kieran and then now I will glare, but at you, and since remembering that had happened, and having forgotten it in the months that passed.
Yeah, Kieran looks like he looks incredibly honest. He was a little bit confused. He thought you knew that she'd left.
But she left like the day before I left?
She left a note.
You gave me a letter to... Or, wait, how did it work? You remember?
Well, yeah, there was a note that she gave you to give to me.
Correct.
But what Kieran is saying is that she left even before Talia left, and Talia didn't realize it.
Yes.
How did Rika get the letter, then?
Well, there was also some time between when you got the letter and when you gave her, Talia, the letter, or tried to.
Yeah, she lost it on the way to find me. It was the whole thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out when Raina left and when Rika got the letter, and then when Rika left to go find Talia, and I was just trying to work all that out, like just so I would have an idea.
Some number of
yeah,
days.
Kieran lets you know that that is probably the last we heard of her was around that time. That might have been the last time any of us heard from her was when she gave you that letter.
God, I really wish I knew what was in that letter now. Surely some explanation for her leaving at the least. I would hope.
Rika, I told you. He just shakes his head. You need to be more organized.
Believe it or not, she actually has improved over the last few months. She's grown quite well. I think you would be proud of her.
Well, so have you. I've never seen you dressed up so.
Well, this isn't my doing.
I think it looks wonderful. I love it.
Don't get too used to it. I feel foolish.
Here, sit down. And he gestures towards the table. Do you guys want some tea or something?
Oh, tea would be lovely. Yes, please.
Yeah, Raina's been gone before. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She never is gone for too long.
How long is too long? It's been, 6 months?
Well, you're young.
Yeah.
That's not...
So I'm often reminded, she says bitterly, because thinking of specifically with Raina. I feel like I've aged decades in the last 6 months, though. It's been quite trying. For good and for ill. It's kind of always is the way of things, at least.
What about you, Rika? Have you been growing?
Let's see, what would Rika do? I guess she casts in hand. I don't know. What's a good demonstration? I can't think of a good way to do this.
We asked specifically about wind, so you could do something like, ruffling his hair or something.
Well, I could always do that.
Well, anything more grand than that's gonna probably mess up the house.
Yeah, please don't do that inside. I believe you. I believe you. You've been working. He looks to Talia to check her story.
We've been working with the Lord's Alliance. Directly with Underlord Neverember and some other famous people.
Protection? Something like that?
We're trying to stop the cult of somebody. Dragons. A lot of dragons. We're fighting dragons.
Talia's shaking her head at Rika's ambivalence. Yes, I mean it came about quite unofficially. It was more just we endured a dragon attack and ended up on a roller coaster ride adventure of uncovering secrets and treachery and plans, and it was just a big mess. Ended up delivering lots of information to people in high places that requested our services to further their agenda and stopping all that mess, and it's escalated quite quickly into, well, no small thing.
He's got his back turned to you and he's just silent for a while. When he eventually does bring over to you, you can see his hand is shaking. He says, "Well, I'm glad you were working. Glad you found something that you believe in. You are always welcome back here, though. You should stay. You should stay here for a few nights. Just see all your brothers and sisters. They have missed you as much as I have, even if they won't admit it." Huritsu says, "I assure you that I have not," as he walks by again.
That makes Talia smile, and she grins sheepishly and shakes her head a little bit and says, well, we at the very least need to touch base with the rest of our party. They're meeting up the inn where we had arranged to stay, and we're actually supposed to meet with our contact for this next mission with the Lord's Alliance tomorrow or the next day there to prepare for our embarkation to actually set up some diplomatic meeting with the metallic dragons sometime in the next 5 days. Yeah, so I mean, we'll stay while we can, but it won't be for long.
Tell Eleuthera, if you see him there.
Eleuthera?
Tell him Kieran says hello. He's a big male brass.
Didn't know you knew any dragons. It's
been around for a while.
New and interesting things about you at the most.
Well, I wasn't expecting you all to immediately go out and start fighting dragons. I thought maybe you would take some intermediate steps where I could prepare you for it.
Well, it wasn't like we planned it.
We're gonna go meet with the council of somebody, or some gold dragons, right?
I'm not entirely clear on it. I think it's a meeting of representatives of all the different metallics. I'm not sure. We're supposed to provide transport and protection for the diplomatic envoys, primarily. I think. I hope they don't expect us to talk.
We're the ambassadors. They're just the ones communicating back with the lords.
Well, right. That's not going to go well at all.
I asked them to send an ambassador or a diplomat or somebody, and he just talked about sending people with magic powers who could communicate back and forth. So, pretty sure this is all up to all up to us.
It sounds very important. Would you mind?
Talia will exclaim quite incredulously. He's like, I've got all the people skills of a rock. I'm no ambassador.
Talia, don't
About
talk down about yourself. You are perfectly pleasant most of the time.
and I'm just super lovable, so it should work out fine.
She'll huff and blow a bang out of her eyes.
I can't speak for the dragon's impression of you, but we all like you enough. Dragons are... They don't have the same sort of wants and needs that humans have. So it's a bit hard to... It's a bit hard to judge how they're going to react. I've found if you can try to think on a larger, less personal scale, you may relate to them a little bit better.
Logic, that I can deal with. I'm no genius by any means, but some simple rationality is always appreciated.
So you say you have more with you, is that correct?
Oh yeah, we've been traveling with a tiefling named Esoteric and lizard folk named Bishra. And oddly enough, they, for a short time at least, a horse that he had awoken and was just the most annoying you can even believe.
Kieran just looks a little confused, but nods his head. So you're fighting... Okay, and then he starts asking you about... He's asking you what's been going on since you left. I don't know how much of the story you tell him or how much you leave out.
I mean, anything we leave out would be like unintentional or just because we glossed over it due to not seemingly being important, even if it might be. Okay. Because there's no reason we, at least Talia, would have anything that she would want to have hidden from him in this regard. At least I don't think so. There's not like anything she's done she's not proud of that she would like think he might look down on her for, that she might try to keep hidden, that I can think of off the top of my head at least.
Rika?
Sorry, what? Rika says?
Kieran is asking what's been going on, and I was just asking if you had left anything out in your account of what you were doing.
I think the only thing Rika wouldn't mention was that Esoteric is a cleric of hell.
She said he was a tiefling, but that's, yeah, not exactly a cleric of hell.
But Rika knows a few things, right?
Talia doesn't understand that, so she wouldn't have even gotten into that to know to need to avoid it. She doesn't know as much as Rika does about that kind of thing. So,
yeah, he actually seems more interested in the lizard person. So he's asking questions about that.
How do you know a dragon?
How do I know a dragon?
Yeah, why didn't you tell us about the dragon before?
Well, again, I did not expect you to go off chasing dragons immediately. Not even out of school. You're still supposed to be in school, by the way.
That should have been a story you told me, like, to fall asleep to at night. Come on.
No, it's not one of those stories.
Well, see, now I just really want to know. Talia pipes up.
Dragon with two backs. Got it.
Written now Talia shoves Rika to almost knock her out of her chair. Because, like, God, not wanting to think of Kieran in that way in the least.
He tells you a story a few hundred years back of how there was a fight between this particular brass, Eleuthera, and a chromatic, a black, in the woods that he was living in. The black was terrorizing the area. It's one of the things that led to him being what he is, a fighter. He was too young at the time to really fight the dragon, but he fought their minions and fought alongside this brass. And this was when he was a kid, and this brass was already an ancient. Yeah, he sort of glosses over the worst aspects of it, but it seems like the dragon did a lot of like terrible things before he got his comeuppance. And he doesn't talk on it for too long. So, will you bring your friends? Will you stay?
They're staying at the Tumbling Barmaid. Just down the street.
Well, no, you can stay here if you want.
Rika thinks. Is it safe to stay here, you think, Talia?
I don't know why it wouldn't be, but this city's not been infiltrated that I know of.
Okay. Guess I'll be in my room. Rika goes upstairs.
Wait, we need to talk to Baishra and Esoteric first.
Yeah, what are Baishra and Esoteric up to? You guys got done shopping.
You turn my room into a room for exercise equipment, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, Esoteric wanted to go to the library thing, right?
Yeah, but not for anything specific. It was just that's how he would spend his time. Well, I guess I would research dragons as best I could. But I'm not expecting to get any kind of mechanical bonus from it. It's just what Esoteric would do. Alright. Well, because of my sage background, I know where to find information. So if this library has information, I know where to find it.
You do. You find information. Nothing stands out right now. That doesn't mean it won't be useful for later.
That's why I assumed that's where we were going, because Baishra would just follow Esoteric. He doesn't know what to do in the city.
What do you do inside a library?
Wait.
Just stand there and look around.
Yeah.
Baishra's just looking over the books, spooking the frail librarians.
I imagine Baishra would first follow me around, bored of what I'm doing, then wander around until eventually he finds the large, colorful, children-oriented books, and all the children would be scared shitless of him.
If there's any in Draconic, I'm sure I can read those.
Well, yeah, you can read it, but I mean, it's interesting.
Yep, the children have been appropriately spooked. How long do you do this for?
I mean, we didn't make any plans to meet up later, so I would just do it until dinner time, really, because I don't have anything else on the docket. Unless Baishra had something else he wanted to do.
Nah, Baishra's good.
Yeah.
He's gonna tap my foot every now and then.
Alright, so I guess we head back to the barmaid, right?
He says, "Don't be a stranger. Come by when you're in town. I know you guys need to go off and do your own thing, but I still would like to hear from you."
I give him a kiss on the cheek and a big hug.
does the same to both of you. And yeah, you guys head back over to the Tumbling Barmaid. Celeste, the owner or the innkeeper, she welcomes you back as if you had, just come in the week before. Brings you out some drinks. Yeah.
Rika looks at Talia and says, "So, how long are you going to be able to wait before you start looking for Reyna?"
If I had my way, I'd be leaving tomorrow to go look for Reyna, but we kind of have an immediate need to follow through on this other thing for the sake of the entire continent. So it seems I must exercise patience for once and not be rash.
You're gripping that mug awful tightly.
Yes, and you could have ignored that. Thank you very much. I think I'm exercising quite a degree of restraint.
Rika nods and takes a big sip, hiding her face in the mug.
Can't believe she's been gone this whole time.
There's a lot of people in here. You guys are just barely able to hear each other over the crowd. Celeste comes over a number of times and checks on you if you guys need anything.
Just a refill, please. We're just waiting on our friends to return.
She does so.
More ale.
Smack Rika on the arm. Don't need to be drunk by the time they get here. Take it easy.
I'm fine. She says, her cheeks already glowing red.
I should have planned for a shopping trip appropriately, like of stuff I might want next time I'm in town, kind of a thing. Because I know as soon as we leave, I'm going to realize, like 2 sessions later, I should have bought A, B, and C, and not. I need to.
You have caltrops.
Let me check. I don't have to do some. I don't actually. That's a good call. I need that.
So you head over to the Tumbling Barmaid around dinner?
Yeah.
You find Talia and Rika there, back in your booths. It's a little more calmed down around dinner time. She brings over the barmaid, short, bigger lady. She brings over a couple things of stew. She brings over some bread to Rika, who looks a little tipsy.
Ooh. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Celeste.
She says, I'll bring out some Tarbine tea. Does anybody do anything for the rest of the night?
I would, discuss the fact with Baishra and Esoteric that we had stopped at home and were able to have a discussion with Rika's father. Mentioned that we could stay there. So I will raise that to see if they were interested in that or if they would prefer to stay here, I guess is how I would couch that.
I do not wish to impose upon your family.
Very well. We may stay there, if only to spend some additional time while we may. We're to meet, what time tomorrow? Or are we to meet the clerics that Lord Neverember was sending?
He said he would send them over in the morning. You guys told him the Tumbling Barmaid, so that's it, where he said he would send them.
Yep. He didn't say the time.
Baishra has a golden sickle that is getting made that won't be ready till 12.
Okay, so we'll at least be here till 12. So we'll be here tomorrow morning no later than 12, probably earlier, to meet up with you all for that purpose. We just wanted to show up here to touch base with you. I'll make the offer of the arrangements. Make sure you knew we hadn't skipped town. Do you have any success in your endeavors?
Yeah, we were able to stock up on supplies that we needed.
Supplies, yes. I probably ought to stock up some while we're here tomorrow morning as we make our way over. Spent most of our afternoon clothes shopping, so not much in the way of actionable supplies, but made for an interesting afternoon at the least.
There's a harmonica player. No, I'm sorry, an accordion player starting up in the back of the room.
Yeah, so somebody needs to be here to meet with them. So yeah, I guess I'm going to sleep in my old room tonight, and we'll leave. I guess we have to leave right away, don't we?
Tomorrow, most likely.
Oh, I should. Okay, remind me to show off my sword when I get back home. I think of that.
Well, too busy getting hugged. But yeah, I know your brothers at the very least will be quite interested in it.
Rich is going to be so jealous. I really miss Reyna, though. Then Rika kind of looks, abashed by bringing her up again.
Yeah, as you look up, you notice Talia is once again glaring at you over her mug, and now there's like a little crack in the mug, having been none too gentle.
Rika looks the other way. Doesn't make eye contact for a few minutes.
The guy playing the accordion has like a... we talked about this the other day. What's that mustache that curls around in a circle? Anyway, he has one of those. And he winks at you. Bald guy in like his 40s.
Rika smiles back at him.
He's singing a love song in another language.
Rika walks up to the bar and gives Celeste a cat. I gave her 10 electrum pieces.
She takes it. Kind of bats an eye at it, but she takes it and says thanks. Jesus, do you guys need a room for the night, or is it just the food and drinks?
The tiefling and the lizard man need a room.
Single or double?
They'll be sharing a room.
She gives you the number. You guys know the deal here. Well, you guys have stayed a few nights here in town here. It's nice. It's not like crazy nice, but it's, for the time period, it's rather pleasant. When you do end up getting back home, Rika and Talia, Horetsu, first, your dad yells at you for pulling out your sword upstairs. He says, "No weapons in the house." And so you guys have to go back downstairs to the dojo area. Horetsu is horribly jealous and plays with it for as long as you let him, at least. Nintai waves it around a few times, but mainly she's just sticking close to Rika. So
I tell her stories.
Can I hold on to this? Horitsu says.
Of course not. I need that. I need that for my job.
Well, what if I need it for a job? Did you ever think about that?
My job's more important. I have to slay dragons with that.
You hear Kieran from upstairs, and he yells, "Stop bugging your sister about the sword!" Just kind of looks down. Goes back to waving it around. And he's actually kind of skilled with a sword. He's not waving it around like somebody who doesn't know what he's doing. He's been trained with it. And it's cool watching somebody else use it in a similar fighting style as you. You don't usually... Talia fights so differently than you that it's just kind of cool to see it from the outside.
Is Talia there?
Yeah.
Okay. I lean over whisper and say, "Is that what I look like?"
You were rather enthusiastic with it at first. You've since used it with a more measured sense of care. But you are quite skilled, and so is he. So it's quite a good fit for either of you, I suppose. Maybe you can make it a family heirloom one day.
So did you meet any boys out on the road? Nin says.
Of course not.
She's asking both of you. Yeah.
Talia just rubs her face and shakes her head. Tries.
Of course not.
Mutters about Bobby Jam under her breath.
Who's this Bobby Jam?
Wait, you mentioned Bobby Jam, Talia?
Talia did, and she heard it, yeah. And Nin heard it, I guess.
Holly is just making things up to get a rise out of you.
I think you need a deception check on that one.
I rolled a deception check.
That would be...
Oh, did you? Okay. Oh, wow. Damn, yeah, good one, dude.
You have a +7 deception on Rika.
That's so funny.
So weird.
Is her charisma so fucking high?
That's...
It's because she's always lying to people. Like, she sneaks out all the time and lies to her parents about it. That's my justification for it.
Nin says, gives Talia a little bit of a dirty look. She thinks you're messing with her. Tell me about the dragons you're fighting. Do you just kind of give her the whole story of what happened? Or are you specifically honing in on smaller bits of it?
I tell her about... What's the most impressive dragon we fought? We've only fought 2, right?
The white one, probably?
Oh, wait, we fight...
We fought off Ancient Dragon. How was that one not the most impressive one we fought?
The stone one, the most recent one. That one's the most impressive by far.
Wait, we fought one... We fought the blue one, and then the white one, and then the stone one, right?
Yeah, but we didn't kill the blue one. We, survived the blue one. We killed the white one, and then we killed the stone one. The stone one was way worse than the white one.
Okay, yeah, the stone one is awesome because Rika got to turn into a fire person. So she'll tell that story.
Oh, and Talia gets the killing blow on that fight.
Yeah, that was the most epic of fights, I think, ever.
Talia does a flip in the air and shows how she shot her bow just above this thing's spine and landed it in the back of the brain.
20 performance check. Story told.
Even Horitsu is sitting there he's forgotten about the sword for a little while. And he actually lets it hit the floor, and it makes a little black mark.
Well, now you're going to be in trouble.
Who else is here? Kokoro shows up at one point just to say hi, because she has her own family and stuff. Your halfling, slightly older sister. Say shows up, but not for that long. He shows up and then he gives you guys hugs and talks for a little bit, but he ends up taking off. Do you guys do anything else specifically while you were here? Kieran is kind of always in the area, but he's not being overly blanketish.
Talia will, when she goes up to her room later this evening, will transfer some stuff from her bag into the oak chest that she has been collecting things in and had deposited here last time she was here.
You got a bank?
It's kind of, but it's not like just money. It's more keepsakes and special things. Some of which are worth money, but it's more pointed than that. It's, typical girl's hope chest.
Yeah, get it put away. You were staying in Raina's room most of the time anyway. I mean, just on the floor, or sometimes in the bed. But it's weird being in here without anybody else. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, once I settled, originally the hope chest is in my room where the stuff was, but I will go in Arena's room after that to just investigate it, I guess, cursorily.
Well, that's where you're staying, yeah.
I would want to, and as you said, it would feel weird without her there, but I will see, without rummaging over much, I want to see if there's any clues as to where she might have gone, now knowing that there's, a mystery afoot.
It looks as if somebody has come through here since she left and moved everything around, cleaned stuff up. Reina was usually a little bit messy, and this looks perfectly put together, more like how Kieran might have done it. And so finding anything, it's just difficult.
After which I would just settle in for the evening, knowing we have a busy day tomorrow. And think on the time we spent with the siblings this evening. Enjoying that.
Kieran actually grabs you, Riga, towards the end of the night and says, will you come with me? And he leads you back. He leads you back towards his room, and he says, I don't know if you remember when you were younger, I told you about this ring. It vaguely sounds like maybe from when you were super young, you remember him talking about this. But he says it was left around your neck. And the note said that you would need it someday. I was hoping it would be someday far off, but just in case, I wanted to give it to you now. And he opens up a drawer next to his bed and he pulls out this little silver ring and hands it to you. But we know it was magical. We didn't want to give it to you when you were too young, because an item like that is very important, and I expect you to keep an eye on it. And it gives you a really stern eye.
I take it and look it over. It's you said it's just a ring?
Yeah. silver ring. You can, you might be able to tell it if it's magical, or if maybe he was just told it was magical.
No. Rika isn't good at that.
But he says that was meant for you since birth. Don't really know why, but I hope it can help you. And he gives you a hug.
Rika's just kind of looking at it, and she gets a hug, and she grips it tight in her hand and then, hugs him back. She sniffles. And then she hugs him even tighter. And she just starts kind of sobbing into his shoulder.
Just pats your hair.
She leans back and just kind of looks up into his eyes and then hugs him again.
He's there, obviously, as long as you need him. If you don't say anything, you just sort of cry yourself out, and he just holds you.
Does Rika know where she was found?
From what they have told you, you were left in a basket on their porch in Waterdeep. They were in Waterdeep at the time. It was, pretty classic baby in a basket story.
Okay. I'm almost afraid to know what this is.
But yeah, you spend your night looking at it.
Yeah. I show Talia upstairs in the bedroom. Do we have bunk beds or what, Talia? How did that work out after our...
You had 2 separate beds in that room. There's 1 bed in Raina's room.
Which is where I am at the moment.
Okay. Oh, I see.
You go to show it to Talia, and Talia's not there. She's searching Raina's room.
Okay, I'll go find... I'll go check Raina's room if that's where she is.
You find her looking under the mattress.
I notice her come in and say, "Yes, can I help you?" And I slowly set the mattress down.
Rika walks over to you slowly, and you can kind of tell that there's something kind of wrong, probably.
Okay. Once
You
I
can
notice
see her eyes are really red and swollen.
Talia's attitude will change at that point, and rush over to her and what's wrong?
Father just gave me this ring and said that it was around my neck when I was found on the doorstep as a baby.
Ring. I'll start looking at it as she shows it to me.
It doesn't have any sort of inscription, but it also doesn't have any sort of marking. Conspicuously so. Do you want to do an Arcana check? You could check just to see if you know if it's magical or not.
Me? No, I wouldn't have a clue.
Okay. Then, yeah, that's about it. You can tell.
Maybe we could ask Esoteric about it tomorrow. I have no idea about such things, but it doesn't have any indicators of anything overt about it. It's probably intentional, though, of course. So,
I think it's safe for you to wear.
I mean, if it was safe enough to be around your neck when you were a baby, I'm sure it's safe enough for you to have now. not safe enough to use, that's a different story, but I'm sure it's safe enough to wear.
Okay. I'll put it on my hand
It's on
for
your
now
hand.
to keep it safe. Yeah. Okay. Rika waits to turn into a werewolf or something, and it doesn't happen, so she lets out a breath and sits on the mattress to Raina's bed. Just watches Talia.
You think you might feel a little bit itchy. You're not sure if that's the ring or not. The night passes. In the morning for Esoteric, when you and Baishra come down, you see two younger men, straight brown hair with almost exactly the same bowl cut. They are almost identical, and they were both wearing white robes. One of them introduces himself as Rhyme, and the other one as Yeshua. We were sent by Lord Deckle.
Yes, we're expecting you. So, are you prepared for a journey?
One of them pats the pack next to him, and he says, "Yeah."
Okay. We are waiting around till at least midday because we have an item being crafted for one of our members. But
Okay. He also hands you a map. It's basically a Sword Coast map. Generic. And there is an area in the Nether Mountains up on the top right.
Yeah.
Just south of the Arn Forest. That is where the meeting place is supposed to be.
Okay.
And they say, "Yeah, we'll just wait here. Yeah, we'll be waiting for you."
We don't have anything specific to do before noon, so.
I guess we wake up in the morning and say goodbye to everybody and then make our way to the place, right? Because it's morning now, right?
Yeah.
The clerics are here.
Kieran gives you
Just make-
another long hug when you leave. Your brothers and sisters say goodbye as well before they leave for the day or whenever you guys take off.
There are two easily found items that I would like to get on the way there in the form of caltrops and health potions because I'm out of both.
Potions of healing are usually 50 gold, I believe. I think caltrops are just like a silver piece or something. But I would have to look.
I'll buy 4 healing potions and 2 bags of caltrops. That's 202 gold. And then the other thing, and this is going to be questionable whether this is even something that Waterdeep offers. She's going to see if, and she may ask Rika if she knows of one, because with her getting into things she ought not, she might know more than Talia would. But is there a tattoo parlor in Waterdeep, and more specifically, one that might trade in magical tattoos?
This is what you want to spend your morning doing, is looking for this tattoo parlor.
Yeah. Because getting the first 2 would be 5 minutes, because that's stuff that's at any store. So basically between now and when we leave her house at noon, I want
You
to
can
try
make I'll let you make one investigation check for it. It's a pretty decently high DC because there's not a lot of people that do that. You are able to get the name of a guy, Morphin. He is apparently known to be sort of in and out of the dock part of town, on the docks, in the dock ward. He is a sailor, human, older guy. So you get a name, at least, of a guy who can do it, but that's all you're able to find that morning.
Okay. How far away is the docks, and how long would that take to try to track down? If it's not feasible today, just fine. I'm just curious.
You could probably try to track the guy down. If you got the same sort of investigation check, you would track the guy down. Yeah. But it would take the rest of the day. So.
I wouldn't spend the whole day. Just knowing that much is enough for now. Then I'll go to meet up with our task.
Okay, so everybody meets up at the Tumbling Barmaid around noonish. Well, noon 30, because, well, Baishra, I assume you pick up your sickle. Baishra's the last one there, and he comes in with a nice golden sickle, which just seems unwieldy. Although, I guess is the size specified?
No, prior to waist. Sickles are like small.
Sickles are one-handed. You're thinking of a scythe, probably.
I am thinking of size.
Yeah, sickles are just like a handheld scythe, pretty much.
Kind of cool looking, though. None of you have ever seen a golden sickle before.
Probably not.
It's midday. It's much slower today. Just one guy at the counter, the end of the counter, and a couple other people on the other side of the room. Looks like playing some sort of game. These two, they look like they're teenagers, but they also look like priests. They're wearing these robes. They are just basically following Esoteric around, unless you tell them differently.
No.
They have decided that you know what you're doing, and so they're going to follow you.
What are they clerics of? Or who are they clerics of?
You ask them in Agma and Gond. They're of two separate clerical orders. And they are
Rika scrunches up her face and tries to remember who they are.
Extremely short-spoken to you, Rika. Both of them.
Okay, like at some point, Rika walks over to Baishra and Esoteric and says, can one of you all, like, know if something's magical and how it's magical?
Yes.
Okay, well, I recently received this ring. I was just curious if maybe it was. If you would mind helping me out with that. Rika seems particularly awkward about this subject.
So yes, it takes a little bit. We have better do it now than before we're on the road.
Okay.
So you ritually cast
I will cast, ritually cast Identify.
Yep, you give him 10 minutes and he does some weird chanting stuff.
Okay, just curious, is your chanting in any way, like, would you want to hide that from these other clerics? Like, if you're trying to hide your identity, or I don't know Esoteric very well, but...
That's a good point. They are following you, and they watch you very carefully do this.
Like, is your magic infernal looking?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you would probably need to be... I mean, for something as simple as Identify, it's probably not as readily apparent.
There might be a little. There might be a little glow, a little red glow, but that's it. But they watch you extremely carefully. They seem to be looking well, they're interested.
Like, this is kind of going on Rika's head because she doesn't even know that much about any of this stuff. She just knows it's maybe a delicate subject. She doesn't want to get anybody in trouble, so she's...
It is magical.
Okay,
You
well,
could tell
I'll
it
say-
has to do with spell saving.
I'll say it is indeed magical. It does. Insert text here.
Akkadi's septum is a silver ring attuned to the wind.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it doesn't require attunement.
Oh, even better. Wow, that's really good. Go Rika.
Is there any inscription or anything else about it, esoteric, that would maybe indicate where it came from, or...
No.
It's a really nice ring. You could tell that it has the marks of being magical in that it doesn't have any marks on it at all.
Oh, like it's, yeah. The way it's, like, forged, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that done, I would, have to return it to her and say, well, it's probably about time we hit the road then. We don't know how long it will take us to reach, from our transit point to the actual meeting location. So, the more time we have, the better.
Agreed.
I'm okay with that.
Aisha, are you ready to ferry us?
Where we go? Russia asks.
We're returning to the place we just left. Because that's our closest point to where we're at our new destination.
Okay. Aisha heads back out.
Okay, sorry, what was
Find the nearby tree.
Yeah, where are you sending it to? You can find a tree, but, I mean, you have to go into the castle ward to do that, which is kind of a pain, but after a few minutes, half an hour, an hour.
And we can also go outside the city if we need to.
Yeah, you could do that too, if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. You go outside the city and find one. Where are you trying to put this at? The other end of your transport via plant spell, or...
The other end is the exact same tree that we came to here from.
Yeah, which was I don't remember the name. It's like the Forest of the D name. I don't remember what it was called. On the top. That's the closest to the Nether
Druorwood.
Mountains.
Yeah, you're right. That is where you were. Just southeast of the Druorwood. Along the mountains. Well, the trees go right up to along the mountains, and you can come out along the tree line.
Yep. I mean, we explained to the guys in case they're not familiar. To Rhyme and Reason. I'm just gonna call him Rhyme and Reason. I don't remember those guys' name already.
Yeah, they look a little pale-faced as they're looking at this tree that they're about to have to jump through. But they get along with it as well as anybody does.
She's a corgi girl in a corgi world.
So there's a side-scrolling game that came out yesterday on Switch called Shooters Blood and Teeth. It's an orc-themed shooter. It's actually really fun.
Hello.
Beisher, what are you talking about?
The prophecy is complete. What's with all the carrots? Why do they need such good eyesight for anyway?
Rabbits have red eyes.
Do they really?
Some can.
Albino ones can.
I was thinking of a white one, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wasted a spell slot.
So wait, you didn't specify his fur color, but you did specify his eye color.
I specified his eye color, thereby giving you his fur color.
I mean,
That's not how that
also,
works.
it's a common red
That
eye
is how
rabies
that
is a
works.
common symptom that caused by a variety of underlying conditions, bacterial infections, environmental causes of irritation, damage to the eye, such as
This is
keratitis.
not the fucking point of this whole thing.
Oh,
This is
I
not
didn't-
what we came here for. All right, guys.
Right. I just think before I acted.